points per game. Missouri scores better than 80 a night. That's 20th in America. It does feel like it will be a high-level battle today. Late season SEC clash.
Missouri coming off a couple of impressive wins. Oklahoma, and then the second half at Georgia dominated. Alabama lost the home game against Auburn. Did not feel good at the end of that ball game about who they were and how they played. Nate Oates at shoot around today, confident, wanted to see how his team will respond.
There we go. Missouri in those home whites, Alabama in the crimson. Don Daly, Bart Lennox, Keith Kimball are officials today in this top 15 clash. There's the veteran, that's Tony Perkins. Fifth-year senior follows his own miss. You got a shooter in the corner. It's Trent Pierce.
Offensive rebound by Perkins. It's going to be a game to see what happens. Can't turn it over against a Missouri team that gets out and runs and shoots it well in this building.
Part of the identity of this Missouri team. And Robinson turns the turnover into 3.
Always remember, Alabama likes to score within the first 10 to 12 seconds. Missouri's got to hold for it quickly and see if they can get into the passing lane.
Now Alabama hits threes at a very high rate as well. Youngblood could not hit. Robinson, look how quickly they went from backcourt to frontcourt. The goaltend makes it an 8-0 start. You could not have asked for a better start for the Tigers.
Missouri has done this season in this building. You take a look at the offensive rebound. When you get a rebound, you kick it out to shooters. Pierce hits it. They did this start against Kansas. They did this start in this building against Ole Miss. Off to quick starts. The crowd at the highest level.
There's the All-American Mark Sears improvising that time underneath. Cliff Amore gets a post touch. Mark Mitchell affected the shot. And so it has been one and done for Alabama the first few possessions on that end. Perkins driving kick. Pierce refires. And they can't make it 3 in a row to begin.
And a big key for Alabama, besides shooting and scoring early or trying to score early, is their offensive rebound. They must attack the glass. Missouri has to block out and only allow Alabama one shot.
They are a solid offensive rebounding team. Very high efficiency. Sears gets swallowed up that time after he picked up the dribble. Bates turns down the corner 3. Tamar Bates. It is 10-zip Missouri.
What a start for the Tigers. The Tide need an answer quickly.
They need a bucket. LeBaron Philon, by the way, into the starting lineup for the first time in a handful of games. His layup is way offline. And look how quickly Missouri pushes.
And partner, what we've seen in the SEC.
Oh, Pierce.
In the last 3 weeks, not many whistles are being blown. Missouri, what a start.
They forced the Alabama timeout 2.5 minutes in. It's a blitz.
But we said that Alabama couldn't turn it over because what Missouri wants to do is get out and push, not necessarily run half-court offense. They're attacking the rim. They're being aggressive. Exactly what Dennis Gates wanted to see from his team to start this game.
Well, they've started 5 out of 7 from the floor, Sonny. Alabama hasn't hit a shot yet. Matter of fact, they've turned it over twice already.
And I think Alabama looking for contact a few of those possessions, right? There's not a whistle being blown. So now you've got to figure out how the game's being called. Be more aggressive in your attack mode.
One thing we heard Nate Oates talk about on the heels of the loss in that mega matchup, 1-2 Saturday in Tuscaloosa, the loss to Auburn, was, are we going to bounce back with the appropriate disposition in practice and on game day to be ready for a high-level battle against Missouri? He was encouraged by what he saw, but boy, this is a knockdown in the first round.
But what we understand about Alabama, it's one of the best teams in college basketball.
Yep.
They can weather the storm. A Final Four team a year ago, a veteran team. They understand, but they've got to have answers. One of the things they do great on the offensive end is attack and get offensive rebounds. They only had 7 against Auburn, and they didn't play well. They only had 9 in the loss against Ole Miss.
This is a charged up arena, and the All-American, that's Mark Sears, takes it in for Alabama's first basket on the heels of a timeout.
Not a surprise that he would be the one to answer. He has had a brilliant career at Alabama.
3-year starter, going for 18 a game this year, so he is Alabama's premier and leading scorer. Mark Mitchell, very productive 5-man, took some contact. Mitchell couldn't shut it down. This is Perkins. He draws the foul. And so Keith Kimball signals active shooting. Perkins going to the line for 2.
You know, the guy that's causing a lot of problems right now is Tony Perkins, the guard, the physical guard, the transfer guard from Iowa. Likes the physicality, doesn't mind mixing it up inside. He'll go to the free throw line. Already a couple offensive rebounds for him from the guard position.
There was already a sense coming into this game that Dennis Gates' team was playing with a great confidence, swagger to them. As you mentioned, the back-to-back wins last week against Oklahoma and Georgia. 2 wins by 24 points and 13, where they looked really good in the second half of both wins.
And so one of the keys of Missouri on the defensive end is the physicality of their backcourt. They get a lot of steals. They're physical. They grab and hold and do a lot of things. Terrific pass to Nelson inside.
Yeah, that's the 5th-year senior with his first basket. It was a 12-0 Missouri blitz, 2.5 minutes into the game. Mitchell left open. Oh, Mitchell connects.
Only shoots 23%. They're going to give him that look.
Mo Diabate into the game. Great feed. It's Nelson. Count the basket.
Always keep an eye defensively, Kevin. Missouri switches everything. And so if you fake that time as they switched, kept the bounce, Diabate kept the bounce, kept it to the rim, gave it to Nelson for another easy 2.
And so Nelson, the 5th-year senior from Devils Lake, North Dakota, is going to the line. Caleb Grill, the 6th man for Missouri. Little ovation here as he checks in for the first time.
And I know it's cold here in Columbia. It's about, what, 5 degrees?
It's very frigid.
Cold. I just looked at up in North Dakota, Devils Lake, -13.
Yeah, that's a Fahrenheit, I take it. Yeah.
I looked at Grant when he was warming up. I said, hey, it feels warm. He goes, yeah. Compared to where I'm from, yes.
Oh, even despite the cold temperatures, snow all throughout Missouri, northern Arkansas yesterday. Brilliant crowd. They have showed up.
Hey, great matchup. Jared Stevenson at 6'10", 6'11", guarding Caleb Grill. Cannot let Grill get hot and get touches. But right now, it's the Tony Perkins show.
Perkins, an early impact. He's got a handful of rebounds, 2 assists, and his first made bucket. Aiden Holloway, who is a very prolific three-point shooter off the bench, misfires on his first look. And then a uncharacteristic turnover by Missouri. They throw it out of bounds. The Tigers jump all over Alabama. They get up 12-zip. Sonny, they've got the 11-point lead. First few minutes of this heavyweight bout.
Now, Tony Perkins, we talked about it, the transfer from Iowa. He has been brilliant, I think, for Dennis Gates in SEC play. And he's been able to handle pressure and be physical. Now Mark Mitchell steps out. He makes this Missouri on a roll. Offensive weapons. They're an older type team, which we've seen in college basketball. That's who's winning ball games. A lot of weapons that can beat you on both ends of the floor. They're a cohesive unit, and they are very confident. When you win games like Kansas in this building, or at Florida when you dominated from the start, all of a sudden confidence gets to a level you think you can play with anything.
It's a lot of that generated from the experience, the maturity, the veteran type team this season.
And no doubt guys that came back that didn't win a game in SEC play last year. Guys like Tamar Bates, Caleb Grill was injured last year. And then you have the transfer pool. Mark Mitchell and Tony Perkins have been huge.
Josh Gray into the game off the bench. You got 4 to shoot here for Alabama. That has been stifled on this side. Sears with half a second. Oh, he beats the timer.
My goodness. My goodness, if that counts. Holy smoke.
That, I think he got it off with a half a second. So Don Daly is saying count the basket.
It's a free timeout for Dennis Gates. He's getting his guys over there quickly.
And obviously good. For the All-American, yep, with there's still 1/10 of a second to spare. A little closer than I thought.
How good has he been in the last couple of years? Yeah. He's a fabulous player. Great talent. Yes, you can have off games. Yes, he wasn't great against Auburn on Saturday. Only 4 of 17 from the field.
After a view, the basket counts.
Two-time All-Conference. He'll very likely make his 3rd straight All-SEC team. But Sonny, this says it all. He just surpassed 2,600 points for his career. And he has ascended to the mountaintop of the sport.
Well, at his size, they list him at 6'1". We'll count that. I'm not quite sure he's 6'1".
Yep.
He's the #1 guy on the scouting report. That's a tough spot to be. You're not 6'6". You're not jumping over everybody. They try to double him. They try to triple him. They try to keep him from getting jump shots or getting layups. Just finds a way to win.
Well, he can catch and shoot with the best of them. Caleb Grill, the league's most effective three-point shooter.
Any shooter loves to run baseline to baseline. They set a double for him. Another turnover. Missouri will run with it. They have a chance.
Wow, the steal and then the immediate lead feed to Pierce. Here's Bates. Has an open one. This blitz continues.
And Missouri, understanding that Alabama wants to score in those first 10 seconds, are getting stops and forcing turnovers, allows them to run, and they share the basketball.
Holloway with a very needed triple.
Keep an eye on Grill. When he comes in the game, they've got him on constant motion to see if he can find an opening for a shot.
That is number 31 in the white. Better than 45% for beyond the arc. It's best of the SEC. Josh Gray. Oh, slamming down.
Did I mention that Mizzou likes to be physical with their guards? They're simply posting up Tony Perkins to go against a thinner Aiden Holloway.
Holloway, corner 3, knocks it down.
And that's how you answer it. You go to the other end and go, I'll take my 3 for your 2. Let's see if Perkins keeps the ball in his hand and keeps backing down Holloway.
2 of the highest scoring teams in the nation. They also hit the 3 at exceptionally high rates. Missouri makes about 9 a game. Alabama 10. Grill another. Offline that time.
Good defense by Stevenson. He stayed on his backside. You got to chase shooters.
Sears to the basket. High off the glass. Knocked out. And who was it last touched by? Missouri basketball.
Another improvement over a year ago is the physicality of rebound. Missouri's doing that they didn't do as well last year. Sharing the basketball is what this Missouri offense is all about. They move it and they find open guys, and if there's no dribble and you get it to your best shooters, one Grill, second one Bates, you're going to shoot it well. And on the other end, Aiden Holloway's having a terrific season, especially shooting the ball. When he gets open, it's pretty much money.
Top 10 in the league, 42% from distance. He is way better in league play. And so those 2 threes, you can see him clapping his hands. Those are critical based on how Missouri has started this game.
And the key for any great shooter is that the freedom to shoot it. And both of these offenses, because they like to push, and your first open look, coaches want you to take, makes you a much better shooter. Good defense.
Bates, wild layup. Grill is a very good rebounding guard. That was last touched, though, by the 6th-year senior.
So last 2 possessions, Jared Stevenson. Great on the defense outside on Grill. Great on the defense interior on Tamar Bates.
Yep.
He uses his length Nado's talked about. They can play 3, 6'11" guys. He said they can all defend outside.
Mori setting the screen for Holloway, has to pick up the dribble.
Phylon's got to be good tonight. He's got to be aggressive, take go off the bounce.
And one of the better rookies in the league. Little hesitation here, trying to go to work on Mitchell. Holloway can't shake Bates. That is a difficult shot falling away.
He has a very confident stroke going tonight.
He's already got 8. So he's got 8 of Alabama's 17. He's hit 3 of his first 4. Mitchell, count it, and the foul.
If you don't communicate on the defensive end, you will pay in this league. 2 defenders for Alabama got mixed up, did not talk right here. No communication. Mark Mitchell, the transfer from Duke. Powerful player in attacking the rim. He sees the mix-up and the mistake, takes advantage of it.
Sonny, he has been particularly locked in. Went for 14 last time out in the win against Georgia. Career high 25. He was relentless last week against Oklahoma.
Dominating against the Sooners. They had nobody that could match up with his aggressiveness.
He's had a fruitful season. And these two teams, they have just thrived. They flourished this year. How about Chris Youngblood throws one up from distance?
Almost, and that almost looked like a shot because he hadn't had a shot until.
Oh, Robinson steps into a wide open three. They can't miss from distance. How many teams has Missouri done this to early in games in this building?
And think if you're Missouri, you love the pace that Alabama wants to play at in this building. Alabama wants to get up and down. Missouri's liking that. Their shooters are on a roll.
Gassed up Mizzou Arena. 14-point lead in this heavyweight bout. Beat that offline. Missed everything that time.
You know, when you've got two shooters, now you got Jacob Cruz, and Cruz came off the low screen and they missed him. Marcus Allen, the freshman, missed Cruz wide open. Now he gave it to Grill coming up. Grill had to force a shot. There are times when a shooter, if it's not quite there, have a ball fake, get it back.
It's another steal. Anthony Robinson, who's second in the league in steals, crosses up Sears there. Over to Marcus Allen.
Fifth turnover for Alabama.
In the early minutes, and Grill gets all the way to the rack. It's not just the turnover, it's converting the points right afterward.
Again, the physicality of the backcourt for Missouri.
Yeah, advantage Missouri backcourt. Youngblood can't answer. That's knocked away. They're going to whistle Grant Nelson for the reach-in foul. That's his first.
Another steal and another bucket. 13 for 19 from the field. And if you make those lazy passes, that's not a good pass. Here's what happens on the other end. Missouri comes in bunches. And because you have to guard them at the three-point line, lanes are open for any of the ones that want to penetrate and take it to the rim.
You saw that number, third in the league in turnovers forced. Alabama is second to last in turnovers commit. So Missouri capitalizing off of that. Here's the other shooter you mentioned. It's Jacob Cruz. Well, he's been dialed in of late from distance. Can't hit the follow-away. That's another foul on Alabama. That's the first on Phylon.
So one of the things Missouri talked about in their practice was that Alabama attacks the glass. And all they talked about is, why don't we attack the glass? Why don't we put it back on top of them? And so far early in this game, Missouri, a huge advantage at being more aggressive.
Well, they're +6 already on the glass. And they're coming off a fine performance against Georgia. They were +9 now. It's like Caleb Grill got clocked in the face.
Yeah, might have got hit in the eye.
Yep. Bart Lennox immediately put a whistle on that play. And so Grill is a little shaken up. Looks like he might have got hit right in that left eye. So what happens here? Oh, on the ricochet right there, the elbow. And so it does appear Keith Kimball just came over to signal incidental contact.
So they'll take Grill out.
Yeah.
He's hesitant to go out. He wants to stay in. I don't blame him.
Incidental contact, but it might still be very painful. So halfway mark of this first half coming up here. Dennis Gates' Tigers went up 12-zip in the first 2.5 minutes. Sonny, they're 65% from the floor. They're controlling the defensive glass. They have turned Alabama over, what, 6 times already?
So for the next 10 minutes, Alabama's got to slowly just get back in this game. Get a few stops on the defensive end and then get some buckets.
Oh, Robinson with his man going tumbling that time. He was looking to draw some contact. Robinson picks it off. Cruz lob it up. Perkins. They cannot connect.
One of the few things they have not done well.
Yeah.
Let's convert that early. But again, sloppy, lazy pass from Alabama. They throw almost like a Hail Mary to half court, picked off. Should have been an easy 2.
I mean, they are very much discombobulated, Alabama appears, halfway through this opening period.
So what did Dennis Gates want to do? Stop them in the first 10 or 12 seconds when Alabama wants to score. Make them run offense. Make some of their guys that are drivers like Sears make them finish versus splashing it out to open shooting.
And that has been half of their offense early on as Sears attacking the rim. He's got 6.
And I think Sears will recognize the fact that they're not attacking him when he drives the rim. Just finish the play.
Marcus Allen underneath. Allen goes up. Missed it. It's a close range look and good position. And now after the miss, Alabama on the move. Sears, not that time. Youngblood, second chance, yes.
So again, we set at the 10-minute mark. 45 seconds down, they get a couple baskets, all set down 12. Whittle this down to halftime.
Missouri threw the first big right hook in the opening minutes of this game, knocked Alabama down. Mitchell trying to keep the pivot foot. Does he? Yes, he does. 8 seconds on the timer. Perkins got 4 assists today, by the way. Puts up the 3. Rebound down to Nelson. That's Alabama's top rebound.
And now it's 1 and done. Miss it. Alabama goes the other way.
So can they string 3 consecutive baskets together? That's a foul on Robinson. So Sears does a nice job drawing contact.
Mark Sears drives again. Alabama's going to attack the rim, but they'd love to splash it out to their shooters. Take a look at what Missouri's doing. They're making him finish. Now they want it big to get in his way to try to block that shot. But here's where Alabama always thrives. Offensive rebound. Best rebounding team in the country. They are relentless and they attack. And if they can do this and slowly get rebounds and get back in this first half, they'll feel it was a success after the barrage that Missouri started with.
Yeah, there's one thing that we know about this game. This is going to be a very high possession game. So any deficit, perhaps not safe, just based on the way both of these teams perform on the offensive end.
And so far, you talk about possessions. Alabama's got 6 turnovers. Not the way you want to play.
It's a foul on the way in, so Stevenson draws the foul. That's quickly the 3rd team foul on Missouri.
So what changes? A guy like Youngblood, a guy like Stevenson being more aggressive off the bounce, using their athletic ability, and say to the Missouri defenders one-on-one, see if you can stop me. Quit bouncing it and passing and letting Missouri, they want to get deflections. They want touches. They want that ball loose on the ground and going the other way.
Missouri defense so aggressive, they will hound you. Holloway got his man in the air, but he could not finish there with the left-hand scoop. Missouri so quick into the front court. This is Grill, kicks it back out to Perkins.
Well, I thought Bates would shoot it. Nelson's hands were down. Anytime a shooter has it, big man has his hands down, he's going to let it loose. Great pass.
Yep, there's Mitchell underneath. Got it to go.
Great set play, great pass, good back pick to get Mitchell open.
Missouri, a dazzling 58% from the field to start. Holloway attacks, relentless. Pierce rips it away. And then a foul on Alabama will get this place up again. It's a 14-point lead for Mizzou. They've had a double-digit lead since the opening minutes.
Well, we've seen them shoot the ball, but on a set play, watch a screen up top. Here he comes, Mark Mitchell. Pass right on the money. He finishes around the rim. Tigers still with a fantastic start. Culture, what they build, how they do it. And we've got great coaches in this league. And we got 2 of the best here tonight. And Dennis Gates has built a team that when you watch them play, when you watch them practice, how they perform, how they mingle with each other. Does anybody hang their heads? Do they shrug their shoulders? They don't, right? They're all on the same page. And that's a reason why you're 19-6.
Yeah, only person left to hit a 3 today would be John Sunvold, but our in-arena MC. He's got your Sunvold jersey. Oh, a little razzle-dazzle here. Mitchell gets everybody flying. How did that go in? Are they going to wave it off? And they will count it. Yes, he's at the line for one more. Pardon me.
Here's a highlight for you. Cut by Grill behind the back. Mitchell. Now he gets the bump. Whistle. Hitting on all cylinders.
They are locked in.
But think, Kevin, again, the defense is so stretched out because of the ability of what Missouri's done by making threes.
Right.
And so anybody who's an aggressive driver like Caleb Grill, lanes are available.
Boy, that was a fun one. Mitchell with 9. Back in his home state. Phylon takes it right into Grill's sternum. That's an aggressive take.
Phylon said, enough of you guys talking Missouri physicality. I am going right into Grill and knocking him into the first row.
Well, you mentioned Phylon's got to be good today. Oh, Mitchell, he hit one earlier. New 20 for the Tigers. That one's loose. This is Mitchell. Oh, it leads him right into another potential three-point play.
We have seen it all season with Mitchell, his ability to finish around the rim, left-handed or right-handed. He is left-handed, so he prefers going to that left, but it doesn't really matter. His physicality, he likes the contact, he likes to get bumped, he finishes plays. Not necessarily a great free throw shooter, but he gets to the foul line quite often in ballgames.
Very high rates, top 5 of the league in free throw attempts. He has been so productive for this Missouri team. Steady, poised. 2 years at Duke. Won a whole lot of games there. Comes back to his home state. Thriving.
And people forget a 2-year starter at Duke.
17-point cushion for Missouri in a building that has been one of the best home court advantages in college basketball this year. Sears with the response.
Tell you what Sears does is not easy. It's like 1-on-5. He just beats guys.
He's the only tie player close to double figures. He and Holloway, I should say. Sears now with 8. Marquez Warwick initiating the offense here. Number 1 in the white.
And now you come in with Warwick, who's a big-time scorer. Great pass again.
Mitchell again on that same play, Sonny.
Yeah, lack of communication again. Alabama is having a hard time with communication from player to player, whether they're switching or not.
Bo Diabate, baseline drive, finishes with the left. First bucket of the day for the sophomores, an X factor off the bench for Alabama. It is a 15-point cushion for the Tigers. A little too much dribbling here. Warwick gives it up. Mitchell wants the 3. Leaves that one short. So that first one gave him a whole lot of courage. And a foul after the play.
Courage is good, but there's a reason you're open. Again, 23% three-point shooter.
Right. That's a foul on Alabama here, by the way, so it'll stay with the Tigers.
There's a back screen by Grill up top. They went over it. You can't, at least you better communicate. Someone better bump the cutter or he's wide open. And if Mitchell gets into the paint, he usually finishes. 14
for Mark Mitchell. He takes a seat. Yep, leading all scorers, 6 out of 9 from the floor. And remember, Missouri now at the line in the bonus after the latest foul.
And Josh Gray comes in. Gray plays different minutes in different games. He's a big center, massive against a team like Vanderbilt, who's not big, but in this mobile game, not as needed as much. But he'll come in, again, another good rebound.
Pierce, sophomore from Tulsa at the line, way off. Robinson nearly pulled it away from Diabate. Tide will take it.
An unbelievable mental game of shooting. Trent Pierce is a great shooter. In SEC plays 47% from the free throw line. Like, it makes no sense unless anybody who's out there plays golf and you get the yips with a 2-footer. Things that you don't know why your mind takes over, but that's what's happening.
Screen and roll. Diabate fouled at the rim. Woo! Dennis Gates disagrees, but that will be the first foul on Josh Gray.
We know why Josh Gray is back there, the transfer from South Carolina. He's back there for that reason. Now, body went into him. Easy call for the official. He did get the ball up top, but the body knocks him cleanly out of there. Diabate, the blue-collar guy. Physical, tough. Yeah. But that's what Josh Gray brings. He did that at South Carolina last year. Physical guy, rebounds the ball well. Doesn't score much, doesn't have to.
Just a great veteran presence to have. Again, sacrificing to make winning plays. It's palpable on this roster. So let's take a moment to remind you, Saturday on the network, we've got our quadruple header of men's coverage. It starts at 1 Eastern. Mississippi State in Norman, Oklahoma. Desperate for a SEC win right now. Ole Miss at Vandy, and then Florida and LSU will bring in Mardi Gras in Baton Rouge. We'll see you there.
Wow, Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like this thing, it lasts 2 months. I don't know, it starts and started last week and it'll go for 2 more months, I guess. Yeah, whatever they say. Now this one will stay with Alabama. The crowd thinks that one was last touched by the Tide. So another opportunity for Alabama. Turnover, maybe not. That's a foul on Sears. And so Keith Kimball signaled that was not a legitimate play on the ball. And I saw the intentional foul symbol from Kimball.
So Missouri.
Oh, and a technical foul on Nate Oates. He just threw something down the clipboard. The marker went flying. This place is about to go berserk. Oates is hot right now, and they just teed him up.
Missouri is the best team on underneath out of bounds at forcing turnover. And they did it again. Pass came in, Grill intercepted it, and a smart initial play by Sears, and he got the foul.
Well, partner, we got we got a whole lot to review in this sequence, evidently.
So they said an intentional foul by Sears, who basically was.
Yep.
And watch this, Grill just picks it off. And somewhat of a nonchalant way to do it. Made it kind of easy. Made no play on the basketball.
Watch Kimball right here, right side of the screen. If he's visible here, he makes that symbol the intentional foul. And so that you would think is Mark Sears didn't make a legitimate play on the ball.
Correct. And then when that happened, Nate Oates was not happy.
And let's take a look, partner. So he gets the clipboard, and there it goes. And that was, Kimball tees him up as well. So Oates, well, he put his hands up. You could see it's not like he threw the clipboard down, but punched it. And you wonder if Nate Oates was sitting there saying to Keith Kimball, trust me, I'm not doing this in response to your call. I think Oates is frustrated by his team's play, down 14 right now.
Well, might have been frustrated by the Sears call, right? Now, you're frustrated. There's the move. And it's going to warrant a technical, but he didn't want it to be worse than that.
Well, we got debris flying everywhere there.
He had good words with the officials. And what we said at the 10-minute mark, could they slowly get back in? Now it's gotten a little worse at the 5-minute mark.
Yep.
And you have to have some little run to get some confidence going into halftime.
Missouri has been relentless, Sonny. They went up 12-0 in the first 2.5 minutes. Held that double-digit lead until this point. Let's get the adjudication here. This is Don Daly.
After review, we have a flagrant foul on Alabama #1. The basket would not count. We'll have 2 free throws by number 31 for Missouri and a technical foul on Alabama coach.
So that's Don Daly sorting it out. That's 4 free throws coming up here for Missouri.
And what you normally do with a guy like Grill is probably let him continue to shoot him, but you've got a guy like Tamar Bates that shoots 91%, but Grill will take these 2, and maybe that doesn't allow Grill to shoot the technicals, because Tamar Bates is, well, he's 93%.
And anybody, right? They could send anybody to the line right now.
Yeah, he's going to leave it. But again, he's a shooter. He's already made 1. I would say he makes the next 2. Dennis Gates has to tell the best free throw shooter in the country that this is why I'm doing it.
Well, if Bates is fist bumping right now saying, hey, we got him. We'll take him any way we can get him. So he got into that rhythm, 3 in a row. And remember, Missouri basketball as well. They'll take possession.
I mean, this pass, again, not a good pass. Another turnover, another steal. There's the reach and the grab, and then the technical. So you had Flager 1 for 2, the technical for 2, and Missouri now has the ball. The lead stretched to 17. It could get to 20 if they hit a bomb.
Emotions and intensity is very high in this first half. 8 first-half turnovers for Alabama. And Missouri has cashed in, scored 13 points off of that. That is really high rate. Robinson from 15. They are lethal. Everybody is.
Nearly 60% from the field.
Robinson, the second Tiger, in double figures with 10. That's a foul on Pierce. That's the second on the sophomore.
And because Missouri shoots such a high percentage, Kevin, Alabama can't get out and run. Now they can't get it out of the net and push it. Missouri's already back defensively.
Yep.
Bama's got to find a way to get some stops. Here's Missouri, 60% from the field, 49 from three-point. They've got 10 assists on 18 made baskets. Everything, it's almost a perfect first half.
Yeah, you've highlighted the stuff that they've run on the offensive side. How have they exploited Alabama's defense so consistently?
Well, let's go back again. The physicality of the guards for Missouri. They like to bump and bump. And what they do have been, they've been able to get to the paint. They've been able to kick it out for shots or attack the rim, and that's from the backcourt.
There's Missouri at 8-4. 5th in the league. They're a couple of games behind Alabama and Auburn. Those are the two teams at the top of the SEC. And they've got one of them down nearly 20 in their building, which is arguably the toughest home court advantage in college basketball this year. Sears, wide open 3 just before the horn, or was it? And they're going to go to the timer, to the monitor one more time to see if he got it off. Did he hit the buzzer this time?
It is amazing, though, that how long Missouri on the defensive end, Alabama can't find a look. Now, they're patient enough. Did he get this one off?
That is really close.
But it's a, there was not an. Got it off.
Oh, just barely.
But that's
the second again.
That was the best look, and that was at the buzzer. That's how good right now Missouri's playing on the defensive end.
Well, underscore it, partner. It feels like a perfect half for Missouri, up 16 at home.
It has been an impressive nearly 16 minutes of basketball.
Yeah. It has been nearly flawless. They have been one step ahead of Alabama in every single one of those facets, including the ones the guys were talking about in the studio. There's the turnovers right now. It's not just. There it is, turning Alabama over 6 more times and you've given it away, but then converting. You're +9 there on points off of turnovers. They're one of the best teams in the nation in doing that, converting after the turnovers. So the giveaways become even more deadly.
And again, the physicality of the guard play inside. They had Sears on Tamar Bates. Sears is a stocky guard, but Tamar Bates has 4 to 5 inches on it. So when they look at it, Dennis Gates sees the floor and says, put Bates in the post. Bates goes to the post, and Mark Sears has to guard it. Sears did all he could, but here's Bates going to the free throw line, 93% free throw shooter.
Oates is hot again. So you got basically the best free throw shooter in the nation. What is he? He's 5th at, like you said, 93%. Mr. Automatic. All right, so Friday night coming your way. LSU Kentucky at 7 this Friday on the network. Auburn and Alabama at 8:30. So you can hear the crowd riled up again.
I think Mark Sears has an argument. When you guard somebody, they can't just go through you. They can go around you, but not through. Another turnover, and here come the Tigers.
Mitchell, lead feed, look out! Look out!
A heck of a lead pass by Ant Robinson over the top to a running Mitchell.
Sears, deep one, can't hit. Diabate works hard for the rebound, muscles his way up, but he can't finish. There's Philon, knocks it away, and LeBaron Philon gets it back to 18.
there's only two wrestling programs in the SEC, Oklahoma and Missouri. Yeah, these two teams. There's a lot of physicality going on today.
Yeah, grappling.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of grappling. Well, Alabama's going to have to step it up from that standpoint. You've been underscoring physicality the entirety of this first half. Grill can't hit.
And good defense by Fowler.
Sears lost it, and that is number 9 turnover for Alabama.
It's all about possessions in this game, all about taking care of the basketball when you play against Missouri. If you throw it away, watch how quickly this ball goes to the outside, up the floor, to the finish without a bounce. This is what Missouri has done to a number of teams this season.
Did that very effectively Saturday in Athens, that win against Georgia. They were down a few at the break and then flew past them in the second half, won by 13.
Yeah, second half they shot 58% and they forced 13 turnovers against the Bulldogs.
That's a lot. They forced 10, I should correct myself, 10 Alabama turnovers here in this first half. A statement opening half for the 15th ranked Tigers. Mitchell throwing that one to who? I don't know. Alabama bench. He has had a really strong first half. His teammates have found him, though. 16 points on 7 of 10 shooting, leading the way.
And you watch when they play, he'll get on the short elbows around the free throw line, meaning when he catches it, they kind of clear. He'll have avenues. Mark Mitchell will have avenues in their offense to drive. And he's great at the pinch post area. Catch it around the free throw line. Like again, he goes left, he goes right. He's been a tough matchup most of this season.
Aiden Shaw and Jacob Cruz just checked in for Missouri. Last couple of minutes here in the first. So Alabama, you can see it's not like they've shot poorly. They're 5 out of their last 7 from the floor.
Kevin, if we had a line of scrimmage out top, if there was a line of scrimmage 3 feet above the three-point line, Alabama is losing the line of scrimmage. They're backing it up, trying to run their offense from 3 or 4 feet beyond where they'd like to run their offense. So no avenues are open for quick passes. And remember, they like to score in the first 10 to 12 seconds. Not happening.
You're saying Missouri defensively is looking like the Eagles front four a couple of weeks ago.
Defensive line looks pretty good.
Sears wide open, 4-3.
I'm always amazed watching Mark Sears. Everything going wrong, but he keeps his head, maintains his poise, and delivers.
He's got 14 on 6 of 9 shooting. And then there's a foul on Missouri. Now Philon is grabbing his mouth.
And Nate Oates is telling the officials that Philon got hit in the chin with a fist.
Well, our officials are going to the monitor as well to take a peek at this one. Look, this one, it has been tense. It has been physical. So Dennis Gates was getting a little bit of an explanation, was giving one himself. So Daly and Bart Lennox are going to put the headsets on here to take a peek at. Do we have anything that warrants upgrading this to a flagrant?
How would you like to be an official as athletic as that? See up on the top of the screen. And I don't know if they're looking at what Grill coming off. At the top, Philon is trying to just continue to keep him from getting the basketball. I believe it was Josh Gray or it was Shaw. Maybe Shaw set the screen.
So yeah, watch the top of your screen right here. Is everything incidental? Or is there anything? Oh, so it might have been the right arm or fist of Grill that made contact there. Again, was it incidental? Or is there anything that warrants upgrading this?
See, to me, it seems like it's part of the play that was happening.
Yeah.
And I think they called Philon for the hold.
Play stands, common foul.
So Nate Oates just yelled at our officials. He goes, did you not see what happened?
So the tough part when you're guarding a shooter like Grill, and he's going to come off screens, is the defender Philon has got to either get on his backside or squeeze between the screener and the guy coming off the pitch. Phylon was on his back but tried to squeeze between. Now you're squeezed and you're holding, so that was the foul. Nate Oates is arguing that his guy got punched. What we saw was just part of the play.
Sure. Yeah, Oates has been very animated in this first half. He was assessed a technical.
Highly competitive person. And I think he gets it from his mom, since I asked him today where it comes from.
That's right. Alabama breaks the press. Aiden Sherrill sticks the three off the bench, and he puts one in to get it back to 14 with less than 2 to go.
A 22% three-point shooter. That's why he was open in the corner.
Yeah. He didn't play that Auburn game, and he comes back with a vengeance here. You know, that is big. Again, this was a 20-point cushion for Missouri a couple of minutes ago. Robinson once again asserts himself, and then a whistle. So they're going to count the basket, and is there an offensive foul on Missouri? I believe that's the signal.
And we have seen it all half. The advantage that the bigger Missouri guards or taller Missouri guards are having against Alabama. Sears is a great player, but he's given up 2.5 to 3 inches to a guy like Ant Robinson. Robinson confident now in his sophomore season and knocks that one in.
So they whistled Aiden Shaw on the back end of that for a personal foul. So that sends Alabama to the line for a 1-and-1. Perkins back in for Cruz. Robinson, well, he is looking for his shot. He has been assertive. He has been aggressive. And so he becomes the third Tiger into double figures in the first half. He has 12.
And he doesn't score a lot every game. He leads this team in assists and in steals. But against Georgia, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. His sophomore season, he's an elite on-ball defender, which allows Missouri to be a better defensive team. Rarely can teams attack him and get into early offensive sets.
He has just truly blossomed, the sophomore from Tallahassee. Second in the league, by the way. A couple of steals per night, to your point.
He had a couple of massive games in December. 29 points against Cal. Kind of won that game for Missouri against Cal. And then the next time out against Kansas, he had 5 steals in that game, which just ignited this crowd and got Missouri on a run.
Today, it's been the scoring. Wow, partner, this has been a fascinating first half. 55 for Missouri and counting. Mitchell scores it. No, they can't stop him around the rim.
Give it to him on the pinch post area. Let him go to work. And going to work he does.
Cliff Amore back in. Amore fouled. And so the veteran is headed to the free throw line with 1:09 to go.
Everything we think about Alabama, they like to score at the rim and they like to score three-point shots. It has been totally opposite. Missouri has done that. Missouri has scored at the rim and they've scored the three-point ball.
So while we got a moment, let's remind you of our women's hoops doubleheader tomorrow right here on the network. Arkansas and South Carolina at 7, and then Georgia and LSU follows at 9 Eastern. Those two, South Carolina and LSU, that is at the top of the league along with Texas. South Carolina's got to bounce back, by the way. Electric first half for Missouri. Phylon splits a pair into the corner. Sherrill got his man of the year. Gets rid of it. Phylon resets and connects.
It's unbelievable. A, the defense is great. B, the offense may be even better. Again, right at the buzzer.
Alabama shooting 61% from the field. Both teams are better than 60% from the floor. And yet, of course, Mizzou very much firmly in control, leading by 13.
Partner, Alabama has 46 points, and they're down 13 at halftime. Is this the NBA or what? How about the power and the physicality of what Tony Perkins has been done in this first half? Yes, we've seen him rebound. Yes, we've seen him make outside shots. That's powerful. And now shot clock running down again for Alabama. But again, they deliver.
They've gotten a lot of those late shot clock threes. Phylon has hit a couple. Sears, Holloway early in this half.
And let's say this. 13-point game, whatever this goes to halftime. If Alabama makes a run the second half, which we probably expect them to do.
Yep.
A lot of these shots at the buzzer are absolutely huge that they've made in this first half.
Each team has made 6 triples. The difference has undoubtedly been Missouri taking 7 more shots than Alabama. Again, they've turned over the Tide at a very high rate. 10 turnovers compared to just 4 for Mizzou. They have been disruptive. They've taken advantage of some careless Alabama passes, especially early in this half.
The other part Missouri has done well is rebound.
Yeah.
They've not allowed Alabama to do what they normally do.
We tried to tell you this team plays pretty good in this building.
It's been fun.
16-1. So 5 seconds to go here. First half. Bates gets open underneath. Bates, difficult fall away. And that's the half. Missouri scores 59 points. Okay, one shy of their season high against Mississippi Valley State. All due respect, a little different opponent. And so that is the most in a half versus a ranked opponent as well this season. Peter Burns, Pat Bradley, Patrick Young standing by in Charlotte. Fellas, take it away.
Matchup for any defender in the SEC.
That was the pass I was referencing. I think Caleb Grill did it better. 18 points for Mark Mitchell. So this is 3 straight double-figure games for Mitchell. Remember, last week he went for 25, overpowering Oklahoma in a win last Tuesday. The 10 turnovers forced. You saw it there in that second bullet. But 15 points scored off of those turnovers. So they are opportunistic when they do nearly that. Pierce gets another deflection that time. Diabate starts on the floor for Alabama. Maybe they're looking for a little more toughness.
And remember when he was in the first half, how physical, how aggressive, loves the blue collar type of game, and that's what we have here.
Diabate, the sophomore from Queens, great last week in that win against Texas when Alabama scored 103. Today, little different story. They shot the ball really well as a team, but again, behind by double digits for the entirety of the first half.
And keep an eye on the Alabama defense. It already looks like they have picked it up a notch.
Stevenson kicked that one ahead. Robinson deflected it. This is Bates. Got it. And the lefty scores it.
A massive mistake by Alabama. You get a stop and you're going the other way. And Robinson again with the steal or the knockaway. Active hands, he is everywhere.
Sophomore, top 35 in the nation in steals. That pass was tipped, or pardon me, you can count that basket.
By Grant
Nelson stuffs it down.
Well, rarely is Grant Nelson play at anything but full speed. Here's where Alabama makes a mistake. You're going one way, but you've got to be careful. No matter what you're doing against Missouri, you got to be careful of their active hands. But watch Grant Nelson. He always follows plays, is aggressive, takes a contact, and the finish.
Alabama has it back to a 10-point game. 1 minute into the second half. Remember, they trailed by as many as 20 in the first.
And I always thought as a player, and later on, when you're on the road and there's a big gap and you narrow this gap down, you want to feel the nervousness of the home crowd because it gets quiet and then things start happening. And if Alabama can squeeze it to get it even tighter, then things change.
16 home wins for Missouri, most in the nation, and several wins inside this building against other ranked teams. Robinson is open, can't convert. Stevenson went down. So Diabate.
And the one loss for Missouri in this building was to Texas A&M. Yep. Wade Taylor hit the bomb for the game winner.
barges right into Mitchell. Got very close, could not convert. So missed opportunity there for the tie. Robinson, rise up, hesitation, bounce it down to Pierce. He draws the foul. So Pierce took a shot that time. And was that before the shot? No, that's going to be, 2 free throws for Pierce coming up. So that's the third foul on Stevenson. He and Anthony Robinson both playing with 3 fouls now.
And Robinson really playing with most defenders. Hesitation, puts it on the field. Here's Trent Pierce going to the free throw line. 47% free throw shooter in SEC play. And I am telling you, folks, if you came and watched this young man shoot the basketball in a normal setting, he's a fabulous shooter. He makes threes, he moves around. But there's a mental thing going on when he now gets to the free throw line.
Well, you rarely struggle at the line. When you have a teammate like that going through it,
I think you stay away from mentioning things. You want him confident of just playing and getting shots up and get to that free throw line. Get your rhythm, take your 2 bounces to shoot the ball.
He had a nice bounce back performance in the Georgia win Saturday. Pierce has been a very reliable starter all year long. Missouri on the move once again. Robinson had the 12 in the first half. 5 out of 7.
And last 2 possessions, it's Mark Mitchell on the defensive end. Alabama has not been able to score over.
Mitchell just pulls his way in for the bucket.
Noticeable. Alabama has not double-teamed him one time.
Youngblood splashes the 3.
And he can shoot it. Absolute great career at South Florida. Kennesaw State at first.
Who wants it? Robinson has it. Little scramble now. Mitchell, one dribble. Mitchell gets fouled. So Mitchell's going to the line for a pair.
And the entire stadium stands up and puts the cross up.
Yep. Yeah, so we're going to get another monitor review here. You know, it's interesting. Sometimes you go so long without seeing a certain call, and we might have 2 flagrant 1 fouls regarding just not making a play on the ball.
I've never been a fan of this call, but again, I played in the old days. So, I mean, I kind of think that's a play on the ball.
Yeah, that's
because he's reaching it. Now, you still grab. You never want the ball to get to the rim. So he makes a play across the front of the arms. You never want the guy to be able to finish it.
Right.
I think it'll be a normal call.
Yeah, again, is there something there that would warrant upgrading this? I would agree with you based on that angle. But we already had Mark Sears assessed a flagrant 1. That call it quote-unquote intentional foul, not making a play on the ball while fouling an offensive player in the first half.
And that really wasn't a play on the ball. He was just stopping play.
Right.
He knew there'd be a layup on the other end. I think that was an easier call. This one, I actually think there was a play, and then as a player, a defensive player, I cannot let that guy get his hands and the ball up to the rim.
So here's Don Daly again. A lot of FaceTime tonight.
After review, we have a flagrant foul on Chandler with 2 shots and the ball.
Wow. So that is fascinating to see that one assessed. Let's see.
So there's the play to get the steal. Now here's what you do. I can't let that ball go up. So if that's a flagrant foul, that's difficult as a player and a coach to say. I would ask as a player, how would you like me to play it? Like, I'm going to swipe, and if I make contact, I cannot let that ball get to the rim.
The only thing I can think of as the necessary explanation was maybe a wrap-up. Was there a wrap-up there? He kind of held the arm down.
But I'm saying, I don't care. You got to wrap up.
Yeah.
He cannot get the layup shot. He can't get to the rim.
And so we're getting the Don Daly is doing a little wrap-up there as well, a little demonstration. And so Mitchell converts them both. So we have seen, okay, Missouri, let's add it up. They're 5 out of 6 at the line. on technical free throws tonight.
When a guy stands all by himself, nobody around.
Mitchell has got 22.
And he's going to continue to be aggressive. Now, dribble it out of bounds. They have, again, yet to send a second defender when he's put it on the floor. We'll see if that ever changes.
Would you change something up there?
I would mix it up. I would make Mark Mitchell to see if he can pass out of a double team. Once he puts it on the floor, send somebody low to see if they can knock it away or see if he can make a play.
Sonny, he has had a lot of room to pound that rock, a lot of time, rather. That's a foul on Missouri. Mark Mitchell, 22 points today for number 25 on 9 of 12 shooting.
Impressive. But again, both teams have been impressive offensively. I'm waiting for one of the other team to stop the other. A lot of holding, a lot of grabbing. Again, here's where Missouri's very good. Forcing steals when many teams rarely get a steal underneath out of bounds.
Fallon's got to give it up. Is that a 5-second count? Or did Alabama get the timeout? They get the timeout just before the 5-second count. And Oates is hot.
So what they did now is make Alabama use a timeout from underneath out of bounds. Rarely see it. Missouri focuses on it. And again, happens tonight.
They get the better of the number 4 team in the nation on that sequence. Remember, they got out to a 12-0 lead 2.5 minutes into the game. And so from that point on, they have led by double digits. Alabama has, of course, goes without saying now, never been ahead. They've been down by as many as 20. That's a tip, a deflection, and Missouri ultimately takes it away before Pierce lost it. So they dodge a bullet, Alabama does. Youngblood is open. Can't cash in. You have lauded with defensively how they defend out of bounds plays.
And I believe it was Trent Pierce, the defender on the ball, who made the tip to get that steal.
A whole lot of size and length. So here's Mitchell.
Nobody's going one-on-one.
Mitchell goes up, draws the foul on Nelson.
Mitchell has a way of getting his body into the defender for contact. And if you're a defender, you're Grant Nelson, you're simply on an island with a terrific offensive player at the low block. A guy that can go either on the left shoulder or the right shoulder. Yes, he prefers to get to the right shoulder, left hand.
Yep.
But he'll spin you the other way. He'll ball fake you, and then he'll go back up and finish the play.
So strong, he has been relentless underneath, and he is approaching his career high of 25 that he set last week. So let's take a moment to spotlight our matchups tomorrow on the women's side. South Carolina is at home to face Arkansas. It tips off at 7. LSU hosts Georgia right afterward at 9. Both of those matchups on the app, on the network, on your phone, your computer, wherever. So Missouri back up by 13 in a high-level, highly anticipated battle. Here are the stakes. Alabama looking to bounce back from the loss to number 1 in the nation, Auburn, on Saturday. Missouri is trying to climb, sitting there 5th in the SEC. They want to remain in the upper echelon of the league.
And remember the remaining schedule for Missouri. The teams are 18 and 44 in SEC play. Contrast that with Alabama, who's just got a juggernaut coming up ahead of them.
Yeah, they're in the midst of a 7-game stretch to close out the year. Against 7 straight ranked opponents.
Incredible.
It's a foul on Missouri that'll send Sears to the line. So the road does not get any easier for Alabama. Sears, 83% at the line, best of the team.
You know, he missed 3 free throws in the Auburn game. Rare that he will do that. Missed the first one here.
Sears, the All-American, with 15.
Different type of offense now because Mark Mitchell's out. They will not throw it to Josh Gray that often in the low post.
A Morey switches back on Gray, who's coming to set the screen for Perkins. Perkins, bounce pass. Gray goes up, got his hands on it, and Morey, rather Sears, comes away with it.
Good pass by Perkins. Gray's got to finish.
Sears dribbled that off of Pierce's sneaker and out of bounds. And so that takes us to a timeout. Missouri still ahead by double digits. It's a 12-point lead in Columbia.
Believable.
Yeah, boy.
It might be better, Kevin, I hate to say this, it might be better to lose early and get some rest as these teams prepare for the NCAA championship.
There's always two ways to look at it. You know, does that extra rest help? We have seen some teams over the years, you go on a run in your conference tournament. Remember UConn did that a couple of times?
How about North Carolina State last year?
That's right, winning the ACC. Youngblood after a scramble. Look at the reach of Morey, that long wingspan, and he earns himself a trip to the free throw line. This could get it back to a 10-point game.
And a fight inside, but more Bama players going for that ball with only one Mizzou, and that was Josh Gray fighting the ball.
Missouri controlled the glass in that first half. Now, things have appeared to begin to swing back the other direction.
Again, I would call it, when Alabama gets the ball on the rim, it's an attack mode. They've got guys from all angles. Missouri has been able to stay with them. Can Alabama get a stop and get it under 10?
Grill back on the floor. He's being chased by Sears. Grill is number 31. Takes it here.
And you better step out early.
4-3.
You better step out early. You can't be late to a great shooter.
Second triple of the night for Grill. He's 2 out of 5 from distance. Youngblood, who has been a much more effective three-point shooter of late, but he misfires there.
And Missouri right on top of the Bama defense.
Gray is going to draw the foul here. Holloway just barreled right into him.
You know what happens when you chase a shooter like Grill? You're going to pick up fouls, but watch this. Watch the late step out by the big. Too late. And a shooter's got his... Grill can go right or go left. What he's great at is planting the inside foot that squares his shoulders up. He doesn't hop sideways, usually not hop backwards. He plants the inside foot that squares his shoulders, whether going left or right. He goes equally great either way.
Sixth-year senior captain from Wichita. It's a career high by a long shot this year. 47% from distance.
Yeah, his best was his senior year, which was 2 years ago at Iowa State at 36%.
Offline that time. You know, he credits that too. He's not looking to force shots. Wants to get his shots at the flow of the offense. That's a foul on Youngblood.
Absolute horrible pass by Holloway. He tried to throw a half-court pass up the sideline. Easily picked off by Missouri. Could have been Bates that picked it off. They got it to Grill.
Holloway takes a seat, understandably.
The other thing about a shooter like Grill, I think now his job, since his injury, his neck injury earlier in the season, they now bring him off the bench to be an igniter and look for his shot. They don't always have to be bad shots, but if you're a shooter and you get to look for your shot, and that's what they run stuff for, your numbers go way up.
He's very much a candidate. Speaking of that, the 6th man of the year in the league.
Yep.
You know, they don't give away cutback player of the year, but I think he's very much the front runner for that. Nearly lost the handle, trying to take it off the bounce, off the window. That's pure. He's got 15, Sonny.
He just looked at his teammate and said, sorry, I tried to pass it to you. Lost control. I took it myself.
Foul on Missouri. And that's going to be the 5th team foul of the Tigers. Yeah, that was on Josh Gray. Might have bear hugged a Tide player.
Yeah, the 6th man award will be interesting. Pettiford at Auburn, pretty good.
Yeah, we got a couple of contenders here. Yeah, in this game.
Thomas Houck, Florida.
Yep. Sears lost it, calls the timeout. So he had the awareness after losing the handle to signal for the timeout. Alabama only has one left in this game. So Missouri's defense, by the way, has forced Alabama to use 2 timeouts early in this second half. Once because they couldn't get the ball in on an inbound, and there after a stumble.
Well, Alabama fans would say this. They're hoping they would need an extra timeout. That means it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
All right, they're hoping that, okay, let's get to that point. Right now, every time Alabama gets with that 10 number, Missouri has answers on the other end.
They've just been relentless, John. 50% shooting in this second half, 59 overall. They've got 7 triples. And it has been difficult for Alabama to get it inside of 10 points. Matter of fact, they have not gotten it inside of 10 since the 12:26 mark of the first half. And that was a very brief moment. So what is going through Leo's mind right now? 13:34 to go. His team down 15.
How do we quit turning it over? How do we make a stop or two and continue to shoot well?
Yeah, Sears can't cash in. Buckets that time from distance.
Big answer.
How about Sears? 18 points today. When his team has been behind all night.
And where the matchup problem is, now Mark Mitchell's back in. He's in also with Josh Gray. But they're going to get Mark to the post and see if Alabama can guard it.
He gets a smaller pylon on him, at least for the moment. Josh Gray taking it in himself. Josh Gray draws the foul. You know, the fouls are beginning to pile up here for Alabama.
Josh Gray, 51% free throw shooter. Now, he has a little hitch to his giddy up at the foul line, which sometimes draws defenders to step in the lane. He's #1 in the SEC in that.
Enjoying the lane violation?
Yeah. Second in the country.
Is that a stat Ken Palm should track at some point? He might be the head of the
#1 on the Sunny stat.
So that is 16 fouls on Alabama. So Missouri is in the bonus now the rest of the way. With 13 minutes to go in the second half, Missouri, that is part of their forte. They live at the free throw line.
You don't have a flight to catch tonight, do you, partner? You're going to be here a while.
Any red eyes out of Columbia? Lucky for all of us. Just buckle up, folks. It has been a competitive one in which Missouri has controlled the pace of it for much of the game. Brill throws himself at Sherrill that time, and Aiden Sherrill is going to the line.
Good pass by Sears. The double, split the seam, good bounce pass. Take a look at this pass right on the money. Grill's on the weak side, so Grill's got to come over. Really just puts a good body check, gets his hands away. But again, the ball does not get to the rim.
You know, that has been an element of Sears' game that has improved this year. Being a creator, being a facilitator. He's averaging almost 6 assists per game in SEC play. That's a really good total.
Yeah, second in the SEC play in assists, third in scoring. So that means the ball is in his hands a lot, and he controls quite a bit of what goes on in Alabama in the offensive end.
Sherrill misses both. Perkins going between the legs, picks up the dribble, bounce pass to Grill, relocates. His wing 3 is offline. And so Grill today 2 of 7 from distance. Phylon open momentarily and knocks it in.
Solid interference run by Mark Sears. Did not let Mark Mitchell get to that shot line.
Oh, you said Philon was going to have a big game today. He is trying to just do anything here to stop the relentless Mark Mitchell. And that's a foul on Alabama. Philon has hit some big shots on the other end. It's a 10-point game again, but Mitchell back at the stripe.
Such a load to guard down low when he's playing aggressive in an attacking mode. They haven't had answers. That time they did send a second body. Mitchell just knows how to get contact.
He's from Kansas City, and All-American coming out of high school, goes to Duke those 2 years. Big reason why he came back, if you want to call it, close to home. Played AAU ball all those years with Tamar Bates, and when he went into the portal, Bates basically did all of the recruiting that was necessary. But he did his due diligence, looked at the pedigree of how Dennis Gates and his staff develop players, how they develop Bates, where he has totally reached his potential here. And so Missouri seemed like a nice fit for a guy who's playing 2 hours from home.
And it's been a great fit for both Mitchell and Coach Gates.
Oh, Philon now back-to-back on this side.
Philon is good off the dribble. Now he's got to be careful because he yelled at Drill in the face right in front of an official. The official didn't like it, warned him a little bit. But Philon is good off the bounce. And he can be in attacking mode. Now they've got to find a getaway to get a defensive stop.
Cruz wants three. Knocks it down. Sears, aggressive and assertive attack to get it back to a 10-point game. So they're trading blows now the last couple of minutes. 11 minutes to go.
So if you've not watched Missouri, Jacob Cruz, the transfer from Tennessee Martin, averaged nearly 20 a game in Tennessee Martin. Has not had a lot of minutes in a Missouri uniform, but he's confident as a shooter and will shoot threes.
Now posted up Sears. Cruz puts it up and the teardrop falls. So Jacob Cruz in outside and in.
Once a score, always a score.
Sears turns the corner. Got it. And the foul. And so this free throw could get it back to single digits when we return. 10-point game, high-level battle inside Mizzou Arena. The rookie LeBaron Philon has hit some big shots in this second half. But like you said, the shooter always ready to knock it down. Jacob Cruz with the latest for the Tigers. Auburn, describe that. Just what is that like? So here you are, you come in, top 5 team all season long. You've been playing from behind all night, Alabama.
It says a little bit about who they are because they're still in this game. They were down 12-0. Now they're down 9 points with 10:28 to go. Trying to find ways to get a defensive stop or a series of defensive stops because I think Bama feels comfortable in on the offensive end. On this end is where it's been difficult.
23 points now for Mark Sears, well past his average. Marcus Allen could not hit. And then there's a loose ball foul on Alabama.
And I believe it was the activity of Jacob Cruz attacking the glass right when the shot went up. A dead sprint to get that rebound and all. I think it was Youngblood. All he could do was shove him to get him out of the way.
So I interpret your prior point from a few moments ago as it's been difficult for Alabama to keep up with Missouri. The last few years, we have seen Alabama do that to teams. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, no doubt.
Missouri set the tone with a 12-0 run to start the game. They were up 20 at one point in the first half. Sears launches, buckets, and he lets out a roar. It is a 26-point game now for Sears. He's cooking.
There's a reason they stamp All-American on certain players.
Timeout, Missouri. This is the closest this game has been since the opening minutes.
And we might have discussed Sears' size, 6'1" on the defensive end. But offensively, I don't care who you are guarding this kid. Are you 6'10", 6'11", 6'5", whatever it is. He finds ways to go around you. He goes over you. He's got one-arm shots. He's got double pump shots. He's got in-your-face jump shots. It's a wide variety. You want a piece of him, he'll bring all comers because he takes them all. And he's taken some of the biggest shots tonight to keep his team within distance of a team that's playing on their home court and playing just out of this world. Look at those numbers. 10 of 14 from the field.
Incredibly efficient. 4 of those three-pointers from beyond the arc there. 14th 20-point game. His 14th. We've only played 25 games.
So how does an All-American respond after a tough outing against arch rival Auburn? He was only 4 of 17 in that game.
Yep.
This says all you need to say about it. Win or lose, whatever happens, he's got his team in this game. 10 of 14 from the field, and not shying away from whatever contact he has to do on the defensive end, and then offensively trying to score.
You know, his body language has been good. Remember that game against LSU a few weeks ago? Got benched in the second half. Since then, 5 straight double-figure games. His body language has been brilliant. Really, despite playing from behind the entirety of this game. So the toughest assignment for Mitchell is Mo Diabate. Did not get the cleanest look, but the offensive board leads to the putback.
And Stevenson for Alabama missed the rebound. Got to have that rebound. He missed it. Trent Pierce stayed with it. Finished the play.
Crowd's back. Sears to an open Phylon, sets the feet. Stevenson backside rebound. Back out to Sears. It's a new 20. He pulls it. Just short. 8-point game. Missouri ahead. Less than 9 to go. And a wild, entertaining, 10-tenths top 15 battle inside one of the better home court advantages in college basketball this year. Lob it inside to Mitchell. Mitchell, it's a deep post catch. Score it, and the foul. He's flexing on Alabama tonight.
A simple high-low. If you play behind him, they've been able to post him up. This time, they went in front of him on the defensive end. So Pierce over the top. Mitchell too strong. One bounce, gathers it, gets it to his body, and gets to the rim. So a wide variety of ways of trying to stop Mark Mitchell has not worked. Any of it.
No. 27 now to lead all scorers. It's a new career high for the Kansas City man. Loose ball foul on Alabama. Ball back to Missouri.
A quick possession of zone defense by Missouri. And Sears took a quick shot. He had a big man open down low because I'm not sure all the Missouri Tigers are on the same page of what they were on the defensive end.
Grill right behind Mitchell. He's got 16 now. You know, they like to track this one here in Missouri. When Grill scores more than 12, they're unbeaten. He's got 16.
And the 1-3-1 trap. Sears gets back to the half court.
Inside to Youngblood, puts it up. Amori could not convert the follow. And Missouri, look at this, they could stretch this lead back even further. They're up by 13 again. Grill to the basket, gets blocked. Out of bounds, and it stays here.
How hard does Grill make cuts? Extremely hard. If you're trying to defend him, he was outside all of a sudden. It's like a flash, and he moves so well without the ball. Terrific pass by Mitchell. Even a better defensive play to knock it away.
It was Amori.
I think Sears will just get a quick break. Holloway's got to come in and deliver.
Grill, long 2, puts it in. Youngblood for three. Youngblood can't hit. Nelson had it knocked out. Should stay here when we return. Alabama has it, but Sonny, they remain down big. 15.
Arkansas looking to pull off a huge upset in Auburn. Down 1, 2 minutes to go. This is why Janai Broome is just so tough. Gets the tip. Auburn up 63-58, a minute to go. Back to Como.
Tight one in Auburn, and here in Missouri, the Tigers, their opponents tonight threatened them a few minutes ago. Sonny got it back to an 8-point game, Alabama did. And then Missouri strings a couple of baskets together, and its lead swells back to 15. The Tigers are on the verge of hitting 90 with 7:46 to go.
An incredible response from Missouri when there was the timeout taken, and Alabama had all the momentum on their side. Only 2 turnovers in this half for Alabama.
Mark Sears has been brilliant. He's got 26. Mark Mitchell has bested him. Holloway sets the feed. Holloway throws in the 3.
I was surprised Ant Robinson left Holloway to potentially try to get a steal on that pass into Nelson. Once he left, Holloway wide open. Holloway, one of the better shooters in the league.
He's 3 of 4 from distance. Now into double figures with 11. 12-point game. So that puts it into the 9-0 Missouri run. Robinson, step back from 15. Anthony Robinson, who had sat for much of this second half, was playing with 3 fouls. And his first basket.
And Missouri stayed in this 1-3-1 defense with Trent Pierce out top. Pierce is tall, he's long, he can cause problems. Last 2 possessions, watch Robinson try to make that steal. Well, that leaves Holloway wide open. Can't do that. Know your scouting report. It's got to be 100% chance to steal. He makes up for it on this end. Put a step back with a big, get a big on his heels, step back, easy 2.
Robinson with 14. Again, that was his first basket after halftime. They have just always had the response. Missouri has.
And we know for teams how hard it is to get all the way back. You're down big.
I would have thought that might have been, or could have been a traveling violation. Instead, it's now a scramble here for Alabama. Sears with 4. Sears lob it up to Diabate. 12-point game.
Sears has the ability of his stop and go, and the way he changes angles to get through that zone defense and really to make it an easy play.
You know, Sears, he's got a couple of turnovers, yes, but 4 assists to go along with the 26 points. Most of those turnovers were early. Robinson draws the foul. Anthony Robinson of Missouri, they have lived at the line. They're going to shoot their 29th and 30th free throws coming up.
Take a look as Sears gets through that defense. It's all based on his ability off his dribble to weave his way through, and once he does, it's from that point it's an easy play.
Yeah.
He's got defenders coming at him. All he's got to do is throw it in the vicinity, and they'll get it done.
3rd foul on Sears. So Missouri in the double bonus. They have been in the bonus since the early portions of this half. 6:29 to go.
79% free throw shooter is Ant Robinson. The backcourt very solid from the free throw line. For Dennis Gates, the front court not as good. Wow, missed them both.
Now Robinson, that's a rare miss. A pair of them at the line. Now Missouri today only 60% at the line, so they have had an off day. Stays here. Alabama is trying to avoid consecutive SEC losses. On Saturday, the charged up #1 against #2 battle in Tuscaloosa. Fell behind early, could never get back in front. Auburn pulled away late.
Matchup zone, ball's got to go right there around the free throw line. Boy, tough shot.
That's a deep, contested three. Caleb Grill secures it. That's 7 rebounds now for Grill to go along with his 19. Just high-level shot making on this end of the floor for Missouri from the opening jump. They've got 90 and counting. 5:50 to go.
Here's a matchup that's been difficult all night long.
Bate leaning on Mitchell. He spins, goes up with the right, and puts it in.
Right hand, left hand, it doesn't matter. If you don't double it, he's a bucket getter.
29 for Mitchell. Stevenson cashes in from the corner.
What a ball game. 92-81. 5.5 to go.
Yeah, we got 5:25 to go. But if you're Alabama, they've got to get the stops on this side of the floor.
And again, send somebody at Mark Mitchell when he gets it in that post.
Oh, Grill, little separation, had to give it up. Mitchell now. Cut off by Nelson. Well, Grill may have to hoist. Draws the foul. He's going to the line to shoot 3. He gets Nelson, his 4th.
Great shooters have a way of using that shot arm, his right arm, as a weapon. Right, he's knocked in 3. Every defender knows I can't let him get off another one. So you lean your body. Grill had no shot. There's no shot. But once Nelson leaves his feet, now he's got to play.
Yep, and you said you sense it with the shot clock draining. There was only 3 seconds left on the timer. So Caleb Grill with 20 today now. It's another 20-point game. That's his 6th. This prolific season continues for arguably the purest shooter in the SEC. You know, we were talking about pregame earlier today at shoot-around. And he goes, I don't have to press. I know I'm going to get my shots in the flow of the offense. There is something very fulfilling about excelling in this offense where anybody can go off any given day. Today, it's he and Mitchell. They have combined for 51 of Missouri's 95. Tigers in control, playing really well. Gray blocks that one at the rim. Toss back out, shot clock. Yep, did not reset. That's a foul on Grill. And so a 1-and-1 coming up for Sears. That's the 3rd on Grill.
And difficult not to foul. Why? Because Sears has an open look, and Grill's got to make up the difference. He's got to get to the shot line. Sears smart enough to get into Grill's body.
Sears 2 of 3 at the line today. 83% at the stripe. Boy, he has been brilliant shot making wise. 26 for Sears. So let's alert you. Sunday night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. 3.5-hour recap of this week's SEC men's and women's swimming and diving championships. Right here on the network. You can also catch it streaming live on the app. Sherrell comes back in for Nelson, who again has to sit down with the 4 fouls. 4:37 to go. It's been right here. Alabama has not been able to get past this hump. They got it down to 6 about 5 minutes ago. And then what did Missouri do? An immediate 9-0 run. They've been ahead by double digits since.
And the variety of offensive players that have shot the ball well that are on the court for the offensive end for Dennis Gates.
Robinson nearly lost a handle. And Grill bails him out. He checks the timer. 7 to shoot. Caleb Grill, step back 3. Puts it in!
What a Pierce throw.
Foul on the floor. Sears will be at the line when we return.
And how do you guard Caleb Grill when he's on fire? I don't know that answer. Grill wants a screen and he gets it. Holloway is close. The step back, the space. Still on a roll. Caleb Grill. Bama with no answers.
Meanwhile, it's a season high for Mark Sears, who's got 29 now. It's his first 30-point game of the season. But the problem for Alabama is, and the good news for Missouri, that double-digit lead remains. It's been insurmountable. Missouri, in the waning minutes here, in position for maybe their third top 5 win of the season. Bates, dribble, hand off, Gray draws the foul.
I was going to say Tamar Bates has been quiet, but the comfort to have him on the floor because he's a great free throw shooter, makes great decisions, that time dropping it off. And Josh Gray goes back to the free throw line, made 1 of 2 last time he was there.
So Missouri, the record, by the way, so for points in an SEC game is 98. That was back in 2013.
So you're saying you're saying you like their chances?
I think the record may be rewritten today. Odds may indicate that. Josh Gray has just done so. 99 for Missouri in an SEC game. That is a program record.
And because Alabama wants to pick up the pace, Missouri stays in that zone, but you have to rebound.
Yeah,
in that zone
that
defense,
basket.
You have to find bodies to check out. And if you don't in that zone, if you don't find bodies, this is what Bama will do. Ball gets on the rim, a couple guys blocking air.
Substitution for Missouri, returning to the bench number 25, Mark Mitchell. Mitchell for Gray.
You know, Dennis Gates has talked a lot about this season, how this particular group of 18 dudes, you know, they have all fallen in love with the process of preparing. So why can you be so successful at home? Well, the buy-in, the preparation, it is being done at a high level this season. And so they are very much in position for maybe a third win against a top 5 program. They got 3:23 to go. They have been ahead by double digits for about 90% of this game.
Let's be honest. For those around the country who've never watched Missouri play, this is not surprising of how good a team they are.
Well, so who was this last touch by? Okay, Alabama basketball.
So they trapped Robinson in a place you don't want to be trapped. You have nowhere to go. So 2 active bodies knocked it off Robinson's shoulder.
Stays here with 14 on the timer.
Holloway dancing with the basketball. Grill didn't move. If you want defender to move, you better attack one way or the other. If you just dance with it, he can just kind of stay. You're not making him move enough. Good job by Grill.
Diabate spins baseline. Diabate carving out some space over to Stevenson. Diabate, new 20 for the tie. Holloway can't hit it. Tie up. Possession arrow does favor Missouri, and the Tigers will keep it.
2 missed opportunities by Alabama. Stevenson in the corner with an open look. Holloway up top with an open look. And Grill maybe has been the most physical of the Missouri Tigers at rebounding the basketball tonight.
He's approaching a double-double. He's got 9 boards now, including the 25 points. Missouri now is in control. with less than 3 to go.
And the trust that Dennis Gates has with the veteran Tony Perkins out on the floor.
That's number 12 in the white. Pierce backs his man in, so 8 to shoot. O'Grill from 35 misfires. Pierce tried to save it, out of bounds, and with 2.5 to go, Alabama does get the stop. That would have blown the roof off of this place.
You'd have called game, right?
there are daggers.
Again, the pace now that Alabama must play. Offensively, pick it up as fast as you can.
Pylon, wraparound pass. This is Diabate. Oh, count it. And the foul. One more can get it back to single digits.
Quick execution by LeBaron Pylon. And to get it down low, Diabate, because of the attacking Pylon going downhill, look who has to help out. Pierce has to come over and help out. Now you've got a pass. Now there's contact to finish. You get a three-point play. The clock stops. It allows Alabama to set their defense if you make this free throw.
10-point game with 2:20 to go. Diabate today with 13, so well past the season average of about 6.5 a night. This is Trent Pierce, fouled by Diabate, so he'll get 2 free throws.
Well, smart foul. Remember, we talked about Pierce mindset. 47% in SEC play for the free throw line. So that's the smart foul. Now, Pierce has to go be confident that he's a great shooter. Forget the numbers. Execute, take a couple dribbles, make the free throws.
That was the fifth personal foul, pardon me, on Mo Diabate. So he now sits down. So while we got a moment, let's check out the good hands play brought to you by Allstate. Remember this one behind the back? Grill and Mark Bitzel.
Let's go grilling. Is that what you're saying? Even in the midst of a winter storm outside.
Yeah.
Light up the grill.
Yeah, I'll wait inside. You mind handling that one? But that duo, they've combined for nearly 55 points. 29 for Mitchell, 25 for Grill. We talk about the Missouri resurgence this year, this epic turnaround from an 8-24 season. Grill, broken wrist a season ago, played 9 games, that was it. Mitchell wasn't here. They get him out of the transfer portal from Duke. You add in some other pieces, you bring back some other veterans, and this Missouri team again is in position for perhaps another victory against a top 5 team. Look at what that duo has done today. 54. They got the majority, and boy, the struggles for Pierce continue at the line. Door is open. Pylon puts it in. 8-point game. 2:03 to go.
And here's what Dennis Gates will do. He's got T.O. Barrett, the freshman, in the game. Dennis Gates is not afraid to put people who have not even played a minute in ball games. Barrett, a good defender, solid with the basketball. But what a huge moment for the freshman to be a part of. He was in down the stretch in the win against Florida for defensive purposes. Had to match up with Walter Clayton Jr. in that game down the stretch.
Well, after the foul, Mitchell's at the line. This is a quick 6-0 Alabama run before the free throw.
And again, another smart foul because you put Mitchell's not a great free throw shooter, 64%. Is 6 of 10, 7 of 11 tonight.
Again, it's 100 now for Missouri. This is a program record for points in an SEC game. 2 for 2 for Mitchell. It's a 31-point game. A career day for Mark Mitchell. Allen sits down. Perkins, Bates, Mitchell, Grill, and Cruz, the 5 out there for the Tigers. Sears, he's got 30 himself. He's got it.
Smart defense to trap him.
Holloway nearly stepped on the half-court line. Holloway stumbled. There's a tie-up, and the possession arrow will keep it here. 1:46 to go.
The mid-court experts here in Missouri Arena had backcourt.
They're just background actors, by the way, in this movie.
Smart trap, though, by Missouri. Sears wants to go downhill. He crosses the line. He's on the right side, and they trap him. Slows him down.
Youngblood nearly lost it. This is Chris Youngblood. Puts it up, and it rolls through. 8-point game again with 1:40 to go.
Bates, 93% free throw shooter.
So for Alabama, they're trying to force the takeaway. A deflection, and then a foul. Perkins hangs on.
Boy, I thought Stevenson had the interception, and I thought Youngblood had the knockaway.
That has been the story for Alabama. They have been close, but they have been so far.
Helter-skelter at the end of the game. Every coach feels his team is well prepared to handle stuff. But in the heat of the moment, Dennis Gates is standing there trying to get his guys organized. The ball gets in, they push it up the floor. The good thing for Missouri is they have these veteran players. Perkins, a transfer. Bates, a transfer from Indiana, though it's his second year. Grill, the transfer from Iowa State, has been here a couple years. Veteran players. Mitchell, veteran player. Jacob Cruz, veteran player, transfer.
Youngest player on the floor is Mitchell, a junior. Back to a 10-point lead. 90 seconds to go. Sears hounded by Perkins. Sears puts it in. 32 now. But again, it's clock is continuing to run. So do our officials notice that one? Nate Oates, Nate Oates is finally alerted Don Daly. They may have to go look at this. So Keith Kimball blows a whistle. Foul was committed, yes.
And I love what Missouri's done defensively because they slow down the ball handler at half court.
Oh, what is that? That was 10 seconds. That basically bled off the clock. And so our officials, I'm surprised they didn't catch it. Yeah, 1:07 to go on the game clock. There's Perkins back at the line. He just went 2 of 2 a moment ago. And that one rolls off. All of a sudden, those 10 seconds become very valuable with each miss at the line.
Well, Nate Oates is looking for an answer.
1 out of 2, so it's still a 3-score lead for Missouri.
And if I'm Alabama, again, your guards are pushing, and if they're going to trap, you've got to have someone down the floor so it goes over the top of them, and then you can attack.
1:05 left. Alabama, what do they do here? Phylon lost the handle. So did Bates. Stevenson on it. Sears cashes in. A wild scramble. So it's back to a 2-possession game. And is Grill going to call the timeout? Timeout, Grill. Amazing. Oh, my goodness. Stevenson on the floor to pick that one up and find Sears.
So Phylon loses the ball, and it almost looks like shoulders up and everybody like relaxed of going, okay. And now Bates simply loses it. Great play by Stevenson. And who else do you get it to but the All-American who, with this ball here, it's almost like deflated Alabama, right? Bates gives it right back. Boom, boom. Back to 6.
For Sears, it's a 35-point game. He's 2 shy of his career high he set when he started at Ohio. So let's take a look at this. Of course, both teams in the double bonus. Neither team has any fouls to give. Each squad with 1 timeout left. It's a 2-possession lead and 55 seconds, by the way, on the timer.
So the one, if you're Alabama, you deny Bates of anybody. Don't let Bates catch it because he's the best free throw shooter, one of the top in the country. But all the other players from Missouri going to the free throw line, besides Bates, have missed some free throws.
What scramble situation that gets it back to a 2-score game. Home run pass to Bates. Bates puts it in.
Caleb Grill, quarterback in high school.
8-point game, 50 seconds to go. Oh, Holloway lost it, and a foul on Holloway. That'll send Bates back to the line. It's so loud here, the crowd didn't hear the whistle. So Bates is going to go to the line for a pair with 48.2. And if he makes them, Missouri may start feeling good again about the final sequence here.
Caleb Grill's pass right on the money. How do you get rid of pressure? You just throw over the top. And Bates with a catch. Sears don't want a foul. Easy 2. Now Bates goes to the free throw line after the turnover. Can almost seal this game.
You know, and you made a comment not long ago about how it had been a quieter day for Bates. Here he is now with 12, making plays down the stretch. This veteran, connected, united Missouri team is about perhaps to make a statement once again. In position now with a 10-point lead, 45 seconds to go for what could be their third top 5 win of the season. It would tie a program record. Sears blocked. This one is free. Mitchell has it. Grill takes it. Grill shovels. 30 seconds. Is Alabama going to foul now? Perkins going to the line with 28.5. And they all sense it now inside this building.
Ball game. And partner, what a game it has been. No quit in this Alabama team. No quit in Mark Sears. Shot gets blocked. Thought he could get it up. And Anthony Robinson, again, elite defender. And Perkins, who's been solid from the tip. The physicality of the guard play for Missouri from start to finish. Another statement game by this Missouri Tiger team. And don't be surprised if they can climb up. Could they be a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament?
That is the goal. With this win, they would get to 9-4 in SEC play, so you'd be tied for 4th. I mean, John, 110 today. Second time this season, but this, of course, the most impressive. Now 17-1 in this building, and it's a third top 5 victory for Missouri. Dennis Gates is on the mic saying, don't rush the court.
Costs a lot of money these days to a university.
Yeah.
What a ball game.
Wow, Gates gets the microphone here. Nevertheless, it's not going to spoil an incredible night for Missouri. They score 110. That's a program record for an SEC game. Martin Mitchell with 31. Caleb Grill with 25. And it's their third top 5 win of the season, tying a program record.
As advertised, we knew it would be a great game. Every game is a big game in this league. What a win for Missouri.
Now 20 wins for the Tigers, a big one. That does it for us. For John Sunvolt and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Fitzgerald. Let's go to the studio.